Hello everyone and welcome to a YouTube video which you would have seen this guy back in January. Would you like to appear on screen, Papa Paul? Sorry, I forgot to introduce. You are Paul, pleasure to meet you.
And to meet you.
You would have seen him, do you remember when I took you to West Hampstead Thameslink?
Yes, I do indeed.
There will be a video in the description if you don't remember. But this is the guy that's my grandfather and loves trains, and has brilliant knowledge. And today we're gonna talk about what should we talk about? The 160 years of the Tube.
That's one thing. I was going to talk about Woodside Park Station.
Of course.
Because Jago Hazard has done a very interesting little video on that station, which has got a lot of history. And that is the station near where you used to go to school, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, sort of nearby, but we're not going to mention the name of the school because this is a YouTube video. It's private, so.
Of course.
But I can tell you I used to go there. That's what I can tell you, folks. Shall we talk first about the 160 years of the Tube?
Let's do that.
So, this year, in 2023, marks the 160th anniversary of the Tube, right, Paul?
Yes, correct, of the first train when the Metropolitan Railway opened its line between Paddington and Farringdon in 1863.
Yes, and it's quite a big moment because the London Underground is the oldest metro system and railway in the whole of Europe.
That's correct.
But don't get confused with New York because even though it's very old too, the oldest is actually the Tube. Because Baker Street, am I right, was the first tube station to open in 1863.
The tube line to open. The station was Baker Street, that's right.
Baker Street, yes. And I'm going to flash up a picture on screen right now of the roundel that says "Love the Tube."
Oh yes.
Basically, it's the 160th anniversary of the Tube, and they made a roundel of it. So there's a picture on the screen for you. It's quite a big moment, because the Tube is one of the iconic metro systems in the whole of London, right?
Absolutely.
So what is there to discuss about?
Well, we can discuss
about steam?
The expansion. For many, many years, there was no expansion in the underground or tube system. But then, since World War II, it developed. The Central Line extension, which had been suspended, extended right the way out to Epping and then Ongar. Although, of course, the Ongar part from Epping to Ongar has since been closed in 1994. And is now a heritage railway, the Epping-Ongar Railway.
Which, actually, I took you on before. Do you remember?
Did?
It was back in, I think, 2016, when I took Paul to the Epping and Ongar Steam Railway, which is where the Central Line used to run to Epping, and should I say,
Ongar.
Is decommissioned the right word to use for closing? Or what's the word?
Decommissioned means taken out of use. That's not what happened. They just stopped using it and it became this heritage railway.
Right.
That was the thing.
And you probably might remember when there was a steam train, can't remember the name, but it was standing at North Weald and I climbed on the footplate.
Yes, I do remember that. What was the steam engine?
There's not a photo of it, guys. Don't think there's a photo of it.
I don't know what the engine was. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. And before making this video, we were talking about the 50 years of the Tube. Now, Paul, would you care to explain what happened?
Yes, to celebrate this 150th anniversary of the opening of the London Underground, the start of it, London Transport Museum ran a steam train because in the early days, all the trains on the Underground were, of course, steam.
Yeah.
Steam operated with a steam engine. And, of course, being in tunnels, all the stations everywhere underground got terribly dirty with smoke. People were coughing and so on. It was quite a bad thing until electric trains came along and replaced the steam. So, as a commemorative thing, they ran the train along the part of the underground that was first opened, which ran from, in the direction of this particular train, from Farringdon to Paddington. And the train was hauled, it was hauled by one of the Great Western Railway pannier tanks. A pannier tank is a type of tank engine used for shunting generally, which the Great Western Railway had large numbers, and some of which were sold to London Transport. And you could see one or two of them at Neasden Depot.
Is
When
there?
I was young, oh yes, steam trains at
I
the
think
depot.
I've spotted that before.
Steam locomotives, which I'd spotted then. And elsewhere, Lillybridge Putney was another depot which had these steam engines that were used purely for shunting and moving carriages around if they were off the electric rails and so on.
And when the tube turned 160, they ran the 1938 tube stock. And I wasn't there because I didn't want to go, but why did they not run steam trains?
It's much more of an effort to run steam trains. I mean, they ran this one train 10 or 12 years ago, but now that the 1938 stock is not to be seen anywhere, it's even finished on the Isle of Wight where it was being run for a while, and that stopped last year, I think. So it was a good commemoration. Running a steam train is a big thing. It's not a good idea. It's polluting and so on. It's okay in the open air, as you see on heritage railways all over the country. But I think it was a very suitable thing to run this 1938 stock, which incidentally, when I was a young guy, when we were using it, was on the Northern Line everywhere.
It's really nice.
And it was beautiful, comfortable stuff. Very, very nice stock.
Very comfortable, those
Very
seatings.
comfortable,
Yeah.
yes.
And we're going to move on from that. Now, you mentioned at the beginning of the video you want to talk about Woodside Park, but we're not going to talk about the name of my school because I did go to school there. But what do you want to talk about Woodside Park?
It's just that it's a station, and this historian, Jago Hazard, who does little videos on various things of historical interest, usually railways, not always. And in this particular case, he's given a very interesting, short 6 or 7 minute video on Woodside Park Station, which he says is one of his favourites. It's got various old things, like there's an old signal box on the down platform. There are seats which go back to seating on the platform, which go back to the days when that line was part of the, I'm not sure which railway, but before the days of the London Transport Underground.
I think it was the Great Northern Railway.
It could have been.
No, definitely.
I'm not sure which railway it was. Maybe that's right.
And yeah, so Woodside Park, Jago Hazard made a film. I'll link it in the description down below of this video. And if is there anything you want to talk about, Mr. Paul? Oh, Mr. Paul. I'll say Paul.
I can't think of anything else. We've covered a variety of areas in this film.
So yeah,
No, I think
that's it. Paul, I'm going to say big thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Isaac.
Would you care to say goodbye to YouTube?
Goodbye, YouTube.
And-
It's been very nice being with you.
And I'll make sure to do another time when we can do this again, but talk about something
That would be
different.
very nice.
Anyways, goodbye everyone. See you next time. Say goodbye, Paul.
Goodbye.